Bernie Madoff only went to jail because he fucked over other rich people.
That's right. Yeah, you're right.
I never looked at it through that lens.
Yeah.
Like if he would have been running some pyramid scheme for a bunch of like,
if he had
low
built
to
poor
middle
people,
income wives, selling, juice capsules or some retard shit, like he'd be fine.
People do that all the time. They're fine.
Yeah, those companies are up and running.
My Facebook is filled with people selling drinks that will make you skinnier or not.
Yeah. God, I want to start a pyramid scheme. I mean,
multi-level marketing business. Yeah.
Multi-level marketing is the right way to put it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever had a friend who was into that and they're trying to get you on board?
Yes.
Yep.
It's the most annoying thing ever. Like when I sold cars, like a lot of those guys had side hustles before the term side hustle had been coined. Some of them just, did normal shit. Like they drove a taxi or something like that. But one of the guys was selling Amway or some shit. I don't even know what it is.
Yeah, that's one of them.
And he would always be hawking that shit at work. Like not just to us, but like to us, it'd be like, so you don't want to buy the Civic? How about some Amway? Like he's just like while he's trying to sell them the car and his fucking pyramid scheme nonsense. He's like, this is the best networking ever. I'm constantly meeting rich people all day. People with disposable income. They're here to buy a fucking car. It's great. And I'm like, I'm gonna rat you out.
You're scaring off customers. They're being polite. Yeah.
The bosses. That's what he got fired for eventually. Like the bosses found out. Like there was a big blow up. He's like, I've warned you and I've warned you and I've warned you, and here you are. We have 2 work computers to look up cars, and you're using one of them to hawk your bullshit. Like he's literally. We have 2 computers that we use to like use Edmunds and all the Carfax stuff, like for the salesmen to use, and he's using one of them to like do whatever sort of Amway nonsense there is to be done. I don't know anything about that
even
stuff.
Sell?
I don't know.
It's like a grocery store, right?
I'll tell you how it works. I mean, have any of you guys ever been involved with any of those things? Like actually okay, so my first job when I was 15, I was applying for jobs everywhere because I needed a job. And I was like, oh shit, I'm gonna get a car. Like I gotta make sure I can pay for it. And my first job ever that I got was selling Cutco knives. And Cutco knives, as far as I could see, are pretty good knives. I don't know. I'm not sure.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know anything about knives, but I had to go to a class, learn about Cutco knives. And they're like, okay, cool. You get a job. So all you need to do is buy the Cutco knives. And then you're going to take those knives with you to other places and sell them, right? You're going to say like, this is what you get. And then other people will buy the knives that you have. They won't buy them off of you, but you keep your knives and then you go to different houses, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, well, great. I was 15 years old. And I was like, this sounds like, yeah, why not? Totally. And I brought it to my parents. And I was like, and then this is early. So I was like, it was like 1996, maybe 1997. So the internet wasn't really a thing. You couldn't Google it. And I went to my parents and I was like, hey, I just need $150 for these knives and I'm good to go. And then I can go out and start working. And both of my parents went, whoa, like, hold on, what is this? And they started asking their friends, and all of their friends were saying, as soon as you buy those knives, they're going to fire you. And a friend of mine who was also in the same, like had applied for the same job, got the same job, bought the knives. And before I took the job, he got fired. So he bought the knives and they fired him. And so I was like just about to buy these knives and supposedly start my job and never did, because that was exactly a multi-level marketing or pyramid scheme. Is they just give people these knives for $150 or probably $30 a pop or whatever. And then they fire them and then just keep doing that with people.
Why would they fire you? Like, I would imagine they'd want to keep people on board so that like some diamond in the rough at some point is like, hey, I actually sold a bunch of knives. Like,
well, that was the thing I found out, is that they would give, let's say, 50 people jobs and then keep 10 of them on. And so then they sold a fuckload of knives. So then, like you said, they keep on 10 other people that are good salesmen or whatever. And then they would go and continue the scheme.
What a skeevy ass business.
So what you do is you buy those knives, get fired, then you immediately go out, start advertising. All right, well, you just need to buy these knives from me and you're part of the company. They said you don't work here anymore. Mark.
I know. He's a joker. That guy's a joker over there.
All of those knives are hidden in a pressure cooker somewhere in this building. You need to rehire me and I'll go disarm my fucking Instant Pot. Sends all your fucking Japanese bullshit and steelware through people's temples. That's what I would do. Yeah.
Well, thankfully I didn't do that. I was almost part of a multi-level. I could have been at the very top at some point. I could, if I continued working there, right?
Right.
Thank God you didn't have that mentality at the time. No, yeah, I've seen it. There's so many of those. All those Mary Kay, all those pink cars you see driving around. Like those are, I guess, rubes. Or I guess the pink car people, maybe they're not rubes. Maybe they're like a level of the people who are really taking advantage of the rubes underneath.
You get that pink car when you're like the top salesperson for like either a state or like a big area or something like that. And they get like a fucking Cadillac, you know, like a nice fucking car.
Hideous color.
It's hideous. I see those and I'm just
unless you sell Mary Kay, at which point it's a rolling advertisement and they might be happy.
Nah,
I'm sure it's all women.
I mean, like at some point you're just like,
What do you see when you see that pink car? Because I see someone who is hustling.
I see somebody who's rich. I
see an ugly fucking car that I wouldn't drive.
That's what I see.
Yeah. I mean, I would
and generally an overweight woman behind the wheel.
I don't care about the person behind the wheel. I wouldn't want to drive that piece of shit car.
I would if I was flipping fucking makeup brushes the way they are. You know, I wouldn't mind.
Yeah, I see him as a 1%er salesman, right? Maybe not 1%er in wealth, but this is a person who's at the top of their field.
Nice pussy wagon, loser. I sold so much foundation. Every day they just call me names.
I imagine those companies are like, and here's your Cadillac lease that you are now responsible.
You gotta pay the tax. Yeah.
So you gotta up your fucking makeup brush and mascara selling, bitch.
4,000 miles a year and only 30 cents a mile after that. You're gonna love it. You're gonna love it.
What a deal. That's
you
a
can drive
lease,
6 miles a day for free. Yeah. Yeah, no, that it's sad though, seeing that. Like not the pink cars, but seeing people who like genuinely think that shit's gonna help them out. It's like, it's like telling someone God isn't real, almost. Where like you don't want to rush it because then they'll be sad.
Yeah, they might kill themselves.
Yeah, let them sell their fucking. I remember Juice Plus was one.
Oh yeah,
and they are these pill. I remember my mom like just bought those from a friend when I was a kid, like never got involved in it, but she'd like buy the little like green and red things. And even as like a 7-year-old, 8-year-old taking those like with meals, I was like, there's just no way there's that many vegetable nutrients in this little capsule. It's not even the size of a piece of celery or like a tiny little floret of broccoli. Like how are there nutrients in here? And then come to learn, 8-9 years after that, it's a scam. Yeah,
man, you were a smart kid.
Yeah, I lost it. So
that was before the crash.
The accident.
Yeah, that was before the crash. Yeah, that was before the cranial swell.
Seriously expect us to believe you had a head injury?
Yeah.
What was injured whatever he hit.
I've never had a head injury. My skull's too tough.